Wanted to make a quick video. Bought a generator. It's a Pulsar 12,000 starting, 95 or 10 running or rated, and online watching a bunch of YouTube videos and spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a shed that you gotta modify anyways. I ended up making my own shed out of a bunch of scrap wood. As you can see, I keep scrap wood over here, and basically I made my own generator box to keep it out the weather, and sealed it, weatherproofed it, soundproofed it, heat-proofed it. Here goes the exhaust fan. It's a 10-inch that I got out of Amazon. That's a 12-inch. And little solar power charger to keep the battery on the generator charged up in case of when it does get cold. There goes a intake air vents, ducts, just some cheap stuff that I ended up caulking around, and that's all it is. Basically what those intake vents are from Home Depot, $3 or $2 if I'm not mistaken. As you can see, they got the little mesh screen on it so critters don't come in. And threw some locks on it. Locking it. In a second. So, got a little hook latch to keep the door open. It's a dual fuel source, and there goes the vent. It's already hooked up. I primed and assembled this yesterday. Came in early. Don't mind the mess inside. I'm still working on it. Last thing I got to do on this is that galvanized pipe right there. I'm going to modify it to the muffler for an exhaust. Drill a hole through here. This is engine paint, so this is rated for 700 plus degrees for engines and stuff. And that's on top of sound deadening material that I put around to sort of make it quieter when it does run. I haven't tried it out yet, but I ended up spraying over that just to make sure that it doesn't end up melting it or catching fire. Now, on top of that, I also have a thermostat that I'm going to put in here to keep track of the heat on the inside of this in case it gets too hot and everything else. This roof raises. I don't want, well, fuck it. Might as well do it all. Let's say simple latch. I'm gonna end up putting a little lock over here. There's a lock on the back for the side door, so when I bring it out I can service it and change the oil. So I got sound deadening material that you use inside cars all the way around. I got engine heat paint on both walls to keep the heat down or make sure that it doesn't melt or start a fire. I'm going to have a thermostat, interior exterior thermostat to keep temperature inside and keep track of it. And for easy access and fueling, simple raised roof on 3 hinges. And this is just to add a little gap in between the lid and the lip of the walls. So this is to take care of that, cover any spaces. And like I say, if anything, got a lock over there. The bolt lock I have a lock on after a while. I got to get a smaller one. And I also got a lock on the back. This door swings out this way. And this is going to be, I'm going to make a small ramp so I can wheel it out whenever I got to service it or change the oil or just do whatever, just so I can get in and out easier. This some bitch is 260 something pounds. So yeah, this is what I've done for a generator box, makeshift, do it yourself. All of this is scrap wood. The only thing I have invested in this is sound deadening material, the fan, the hinges, the locks, the vents, the handles, and this solar generator to keep the battery charged up. That's all I got invested in. Oh, and the galvanized pipe I'm going to make an exhaust pipe out of. Other than that, I haven't really invested too much money into making this box itself, per se. I keep screws, I keep scrap wood, and like I say, the only thing I really invested or spent money on is all the hardware. That's about it. So, say invested wise for the hardware and stuff. I spent about maybe $100 plus or minus, give or take. Not even a little more, a little less. No more than that. That's just on the hardware. So hardware and the accessories. This was $20 off of Amazon. The vent was $67 or $70. We'll round it up. $70 for the vent. And hardware, give or take, maybe $80, if that. Not even. So I ain't got too much invested in this, but this is what I'm going to be using in case we have inclement weather, we lose power again, or we have a big snowstorm like we did a couple years ago. And I just made this little shelf on the side of it to prevent rain and all that other crap and whatnot and so forth. Just to prolong the use and functionality of the air vent. So when the vent turns on, it blows out this way and lifts these up. So the galvanized pipe is going to come out somewhere over here in this area. It's going to protrude through the wall once I get it hooked up to the generator itself, and it will exhaust itself anywhere around here. So I ain't got too much, but this is what I've done, and this is what I just accomplished also. This is wired directly to my breaker box, 30 amp. This is ready to go on the hook with the whip. So putting some sealant around it so it doesn't leak inside. That's all ready to go. I got fire resistant whatever fill-a-foam in the back, and then I got some weatherized caulk, exterior caulk out here, just to make sure water doesn't get in or seep in nowhere. So this is what I've been doing for my day, my Saturday off. I started yesterday on Friday once I got out of work, but didn't get too much accomplished, so I finished it all up today. But basically, this is what's going to happen when the weather does come out and crank it. Make sure the wire, the whip, is hooked up to the generator. Hook that whip wire up to, I know that's not a transfer box, but basically that box right there that leads into the breaker room. Once everything is shut off, the main breaker and everything, so I don't backfeed it. Turn the unit on, give it a couple minutes, and basically it'll just start powering the whole house. And if not the whole house, it'll power all the essentials until we get power back on when we do lose it. Because a couple years back, we lost power due to a pretty heavy snowstorm for North Carolina standards. I was out of power for about 5-7 days, give or take. I think it was like 6 days at the most before the power came back on. So this is to circumvent having to do that shit again in case it ever does happen. So this is what you too can do it if you collect and keep scrap wood, and I do. Wherever I see free wood, I pick it up. There's always going to be a use for it, especially with the prices of wood there is out there nowadays. This is the best thing to do. If you see a construction site, dumpster, hey, you mind if I rummage through here and try to repurpose or resalvage and or reuse some wood that you're going to throw away? And 9 times out of 10, they'll say sure, because it'll save them on dump costs. So, but I'll take it easy.